Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 27th through May 3rd. And during that time, we will have a new moon on the 28th. And that's a really good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a new skill or new work that you might need to get started on, or to even make some new decisions. Then we do move into the waxing crescent energy, and that's a really good time of heightened senses when you start to execute those new things that you've just started. So a good time to live up to your expectations and intentions. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading, Libra, for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. All right, Libra, your overall message card for this reading: confidence is your key to success. All right, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on this week. And Libra, as I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it's super, super easy for you to do. Just hit that subscribe button right there. I'll give you just a moment to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I do appreciate you. And my weekly reminder this week, Libra, would be that you take time to meditate today. Go within, still yourself, quiet your mind, and explore. If it's something that you already do, then you know what I'm talking about. If meditation is not something that you practice already, today is just a really good day to start. So even if it's just a few minutes that you take for yourself, just start working that into your daily routine. All right, Libra, April 27th through May 3rd. Confidence is your key to success. All right, your overall present energy is the Three of Pentacles. So looks like something going on with you where you're collaborating. This is a card of creativity, and anytime it's a three, it's about coming together with other people, um, and collaborating and working on something. So again, be confident in that. That's your key to success. Your current situation is the Nine of Cups. So you're kind of indulging yourself in something. This could be some personal project that you're involved with, some creative project. Of course, it could be work related. It is Pentacles we're talking about, but you're feeling a little bit of satisfaction that you're in this position and that you get to do this. It's kind of I'm already getting the feeling of like that it's a joy, it's a pleasure that you get to have this collaboration, that it's really fun and it's exciting, and it's just really something that's up your alley creatively, which is super, super awesome. At the root of your situation, King of Wands, which I might have to call this week the star of our tarot readings this week. I've seen him so many times. King of Wands is just someone who has a knowledge of the thing that they're really passionate about. You've taken the time to, educate yourself. It's something that you love doing and you know everything about it. You could get with another person and kind of talk shop about this for hours on end. It's something that you just really, and you've just taken the time to have that in your foundation, in your root, is that you kind of know your game when it comes to whatever this is that drives your passion. In your recent past is the Nine of Swords. So you could be coming out of an era here where you've had a little fear about this, some anxiety, and maybe it's just working itself out. Now we've got two nines right here together. And nines is when we're getting close to kind of getting close to an ending where a beginning can take place. But if you had some anxiety, I feel like if that was in the past, and if you kind of went into it with that's been quelled. You're like, okay, I'm good, I've got this, I can do this. I was nervous about it, but actually I belong right here where I'm at. That's the energy I'm feeling. What's on your mind this week is the Hierophant, another star this week of the tarot. A lot of people seeking guidance. And it could be that, if you're in this collaborative role here, this, it's on your mind. You could be seeking guidance, or you could actually be the guidance that someone is coming to about this thing that you're very passionate about. And that would be a really good feeling if someone comes to you because you know your stuff. So that's pretty awesome. And that, what a confidence builder when someone comes to you and says, hey, I know that you know a lot about X, Y, and Z, and I want to ask you some questions and learn from you. That's a great, great feeling. What is just ahead of you this week is the Seven of Swords. So this is someone, it could be you taking some of your thoughts away, like leaving some of your thoughts. Um, and in this situation, when it comes to collaborating and someone asking your advice, sometimes you do have to be very careful of someone's intentions, that they're not trying to use your information to get ahead of you in the race. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do have to withhold some information. So, someone comes to you, it might make you feel good. It might make you feel, this satisfaction that this person is coming to you, but be very careful what you ask for this week. And if this is you leaving a couple of swords of knowledge to this person, you're not telling everything. You're keeping some information, and that may be for really good reason this week. This may not be a person that you can really trust to give all of your information to. So definitely keep that in mind. In your advice position is the Knight of Wands. So, our Knight of Wands is action in the passion area. So of course you're taking some sort of action there. In general, looks like you are collaborating and there's things going on in that realm. What is beyond your control this week is the Star card. So this is the card of you being kind of on course, knowing your direction. This is when something is literally written in the stars. It's completely meant to be, and that's beyond your control. So whatever this is that you're involved with, it's just kind of things all coming together in a very good and natural way. But I'm going to remind you again to just watch for that one person that maybe you shouldn't be completely trusting this week, and just kind of keep an eye out for those people. Do exist. They exist to test us, right? What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? All right, Two of Pentacles here. So is it your secret desire to kind of juggle all of this, or are you trying to avoid doing that? I would hope it is your secret desire to kind of keep everything in the air, but um interesting that that's there too. So let's get an outcome card here. The Chariot card. So interesting. So, the Chariot card is about execution. The Chariot, this guy comes in as kind of our hero, but I also kind of see it as, even though it's about execution, I almost see it as gathering information before the execution. These two are not moving, and they're facing different directions. And I kind of feel like, sometimes that this card to me talks about pulling you in two different directions. And does this person have something to do with this? Is this, being pulled to share things that but also being like, well, you want to hold a little bit back? So again, I'm going to say, watch out for this person, but this is in your outcome. So to me, this is that you're getting ready to execute something pretty, pretty big here in this collaboration and this everything that's going on that's leading up to this. Watch for that person in your midst. But and then if you need to seek advice, also don't be afraid to do that, but also you can be that person for others as well. What is hidden from you this week? All right, 10 of Cups. So almost like this is in progress. Like, we're not, again, I don't even know if you're going to execute this week. Someone else had a very similar reading. Hold on just a second. And it could have been Libra. If you have a Virgo in your life, you might want to go watch the Virgo reading. I feel like they were kind of in progress also and not quite ready to make a move. Sometimes that's, we're in this new moon energy where things are going to be new beginnings and stuff. And there might just be some, I don't want to say anticipation. There's a word that's not coming to me. Maybe like trepidation, that you're very cautious, very like the new move energy is there, but there's something that's kind of holding you back. Something that's kind of holding you back. And I feel like that with the Chariot, that yeah, this could go one way or another, and that maybe you're not going to completely get that Chariot moving this week, but you're getting there. You're getting there. Also, I'm going to remind again, confidence is your key to success. So, go ahead and gather that information, watch your back a little bit. And this card is maybe for next week. So you're going to come back next week and see if now you're starting to execute thing, and you're getting into a happier energy where you feel like there's momentum and things kind of going in the right direction. So, and again, because of the moon energy, it could be that, it may be the 28th, that new moon energy when this new beginning starts to happen. So that's pretty interesting. I don't see a lot of movement even before that, but that could happen through the week. All right, let's wrap this up here with a final word from the Soul Oracle deck. I'm trying to look back over to see. Like I said, there's a couple of 9s on the table. Couple of 9 and this 10. This this wrapping up of this, again, I just don't see it this week. Could be next week. All right, claim your art. So, back to this collaboration card, where, this could be about some art that you're involved with, some creative project, some, collaboration there. And laugh at your demons. So, and what is this, what is this thing? What kept you up in your recent past? What is it that you were concerned about? And, something I will say about concern is sometimes that drives something to happen, like almost like it's like a careful what you ask for thing. But if there's something that you are being very worried about, you can just draw it to yourself. I'm sure you've heard that before. And that could have something to do with this guy here. Maybe if you were concerned about something and that is kind of coming to fruition, but you are very rapidly here on your right path. This thing that you're doing and this thing that you're about to be involved with, you're kind of juggling things around, but it is definitely written in the stars that you would do this thing, and you're getting very, very close to making a move. So, Libra, I really appreciate you being here with me today. If you are comfortable sharing, please drop me a comment down below and let me know what it is. What are you involved with that's kind of a collaborative thing right now where you're about to make a move on it? If you're comfortable sharing, let us know. If you have questions about this reading, also, you can leave a comment and ask a question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But Libra, I do hope there was something that you can take away and use. I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you. Also, again, if you like my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I would appreciate that so much. And most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Libra. Good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.